What is up, champions? You're here for a stock review, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Let's go ahead and dive into the broader markets, followed by Amazon, Apple, AMD, and Square, and just kind of look over earnings and my thoughts. First and foremost, we have an evening star reversal at a resistance with a one black crow candle today on the SPY. So if we break the low of this little hammer, my expectations is that we probably do pull back. Now, this week, most likely, our boy Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve increase interest rates another 0.25%. And if that happens, I'm not really sure what the market will do, but my expectations is we'll probably drop a little bit, and that'll provide some style or some level of dip buying opportunity, most likely. If anything else other than that happens, if they don't raise interest rates at all, would crush higher, but I don't think that's going to happen. So most likely, all scenarios will lead to a little bit of a dip followed by some type of bounce. Unless, of course, he really starts being really hawkish, big interest rate increase, and then we're going to have a little bit of a larger drop. In which case, hey, take advantage of it. Have a good time. The party is here. That's my thoughts on the broader market. Here's Apple. And my thoughts on Apple on earnings is we're probably going to have a small gap down, or we're going to open flat. So what I'm going to be doing is selling bear call spreads over earnings because it's above the 100, 200 on the daily and the 100 simple on a weekly. And if Apple gaps above 150, then I will use the momentum from the trapped bears to unravel that credit spread on Apple. So we'll see if that does happen. But again, I think that we're going to kind of hang out and just do one of these guys. I don't think it'll be anything big or crazy. Just hang out, and then we're going to end the week essentially flat, undecided overall on Apple this week on earnings. Of course, they're going to make great earnings. They're going to do fantastic, and then dividends are right around the corner. So if this is a spot that you would be intrigued to sell some puts, and because you want to own some shares of Apple, I think that's fine. You know, if you can get some premium around 130 for regular February, I think that's a good spot to own some. AMD. My overall plan on AMD, Intel had a huge gap down on earnings and faded beautifully, trading into the 100 simple moving average, really failing both times, allowing for some good day trade opportunities. I don't know why AMD would not gap down since Intel did gap down on earnings. My plan is, unless AMD opens above 80, I'm going to expect some slight bearish to neutral action on AMD over earnings. So a gap above 80, definitely best case scenario. I'm expecting a small gap up on AMD, maybe into 76, 75. We rally into 78, and then we kind of fill the gap, and we just kind of keep trading sideways. That's my overall guess and expectations on AMD. That's my thoughts, and that's what I'm going to be playing. Amazon, with all their layoffs, I actually expect a small gap up, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how this one plays out. My thoughts are it's probably going to gap around 103, and then we will see. This is going to be a really good gap. So we will see at 103, ladies and gentlemen. If we can open above 105, 106, this baby could run, and that would be the catalyst with Apple gapping down small and, you know, whatever the Federal Reserve comes out with. A good gap above 105, 106 on Amazon, and we fill this gap over here in days, and we hit the 200 simple by the end of the month. That'll be a really, really good gap, and I think that there's a decent chance that actually occurs. Of course, I could be entirely wrong, and I am waiting for that to take place, and we're going to see how the gap plays out. But this is a great spot to be owning some Amazon long-term, because you did have, without question, 50% pullback, and we have a one white soldier at the 100 simple moving average on a monthly chart on Amazon. That is an incredible spot to buy. Really good reversal signal. And again, you're not buying massively aggressively down here, but you have to be picking up something somewhere at some point. And then Square, ticker symbol SQ, pretty far away from earnings right now. And the only reason I'm looking at this one is because I think it has a really nice one black crow. We closed below a shaved bottom candle on Friday. So if we do gap down tomorrow morning below the low, I think we could pull back. I think we do eventually pull back to 73, which is most likely a buyable event on Square. But this one's had a lot of fun for day traders. And if you are in shares of Square, aka Block, which I am, I think it'd be very valid to sell some covered calls up in this general area over earnings March week 1. You're going to get paid like 2 or 3% of your premium just by selling calls up there, even though you're at a resistance. So if you currently own shares, you most likely can get a really, really good collar over earnings on block, which I think would be very beneficial for you to do so. And last but not least, GNS as a surprise guest. Keep your eyes on this one. There's a squeeze happening as we speak. And again, I'm not saying it's going to go to 100, but I think 9 over the next month is very reasonable. And buy the dip on this. Really, really good gap. This gap is held. We just broke out of a pennant. We just made a higher high and a higher low. And this one is starting to hit the Wall Street bets and the Twitter and the stock twits. Look at this volume. Gargantuan. This thing only has a certain amount of shares available to be traded, which is about 10 million. And the float is a lot more than that. So in general, I'm expecting this one to slowly peel higher. At least watch it for quick swing trades, buying low and selling high. I got a few of my traders in around 350 on this, and we were able to sell today at 7. I mean, that's not a bad return for 2 or 3 days worth of work. All right. Keep your eyes on Genius Group Limited. The CEO is doing amazing entrepreneurial endeavors with this particular company. Extremely interesting and going to be a fun one to watch over the next 3 or 4 days. Team, if you want me to review something this week, I have so much time. I really want you to put me to work. Please post in the comment section below. How can I help your life? How can I enrich you more? What can I do to provide you more value? And I will do exactly that. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being a subscriber to the YouTube channel. And until next time, love life, and trade. Bye.